Okay, found the questions. So, first one is, who is your favorite music artist right now? That's a hard one. I'm like not super, I listen to music, but I'm not like crazy opinionated about music. I do love Billie Eilish, and a lot of people say I look like her. I did more when I had my hair a different color. So she's definitely up there. I'm trying to think. For the gym, I prefer Pop Smoke. I don't know if that's basic or not, but that's what I like to listen to at the gym. I've also, this isn't music, but I've been really into podcasts lately. I've been starting listening to this podcast called Manifestation Babe. It's, pretty popular, but I'm not, super into manifestation, but I've gotten into it because of the podcast. So if you're, interested in, goal setting and, being, setting intentions and stuff like that, I feel like that's a good start for you. I've really found it helpful because I'm really into New Year's resolutions, and I have a lot of them this year. So I've been into goal setting, and that's what got me on to setting intention and journaling and being grateful. There's other spiritual aspects about manifestation, but I'm not totally into that. Anyway, next question is, do you only write when you're motivated to / inspired? That is a good question, and yes, only when it's not so much about motivation, it's about being inspired. So it's more of an instinct to write down something when I have the inspiration. So I don't really require motivation. When something comes to me, and it's always an epiphany, it always just comes to me suddenly. Sometimes I do use prompts, but even then, I can't just look at a prompt and write. I have to have the inspiration come from the prompt and or just get inspiration from my daily life. A lot of times at the gym, I'll just, it'll hit me. At the gym, I'll be listening to a song and, I get an idea, and then I just have to pause the treadmill and, write it down in my notes app on my phone. So I only write when it comes to me. And a lot of times when it does come to me, I'll get, 5 or 6 poems out of that piece of inspiration that I received from the universe or whatever, because a lot of times I don't write at all. I go days without writing, and then when that hits me, I write. So it's not about motivation, because it's an instinctual thing to absolutely write it down, and I have motivation comes with inspiration, I feel so I'm so passionate about it that I don't really need I don't need motivation, I just need inspiration. And people ask me how often I get inspiration, and honestly, it varies. In the past, I've gone weeks without writing, but since starting my Instagram in January, not this January, last January, I've really been writing a lot more, and I think that's because I read everyone's poems on my feed who I follow, and I also search up hashtags to see more work from other poets, and reading more has gotten me writing more, so that's definitely a tip. I think, but that's why also, sorry, this is a rant, if I read, I will almost always end up writing. So I don't read for fun. I read as inspiration for my writing. So I don't just sit down with a book and it's relaxing. If I end up reading something, it always ends with me writing something. So a lot of times, if I don't have motivation, I don't want to read, because that'll entail doing work, which it's not work to me, it's passion, but it still takes energy. So if I want to relax, reading is not what I do, which wasn't the question, but that's what you get. Someone said school, ... MIT. I think that's because I'm a student in Boston. No, despite being a STEM major, I'm not MIT material. I go to Northeastern. That's also, I used to make that more public, but that's more subscriber-only knowledge now, just because I don't want people, following me on campus. A lot of my friends, though, or non-friends, students from Northeastern do follow me on here, so I appreciate that, and shout out if you go to Northeastern, I love you. So no, not MIT. Someone else said Neruda. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, or Poe. It was, deciding which poet I like better. I actually have not read the first one. It's not familiar to me, so I have to say Poe. I do like Poe, though. He's very, obviously very dark, and I like dark stuff, especially in writing. I write a lot of dark stuff, but it has made its way off of Instagram because I've gotten like reported too many times, and I don't want my account taken down. That would actually, like, that would be heartbreaking for me if my account, and I've been locked out of accounts before from like following too many people at once, or like having like bot like behavior online, like just liking too many photos at once, or even just like, again, like posting content that's, I've never posted something like mean, but like I'll post something about like my past that's like kind of concerning, but I'm over it now. But so I feel like there should be a button on Instagram that says like, hey, I'm an artist, because a lot of art comes from pain, and I get reported all the time from like talking about depression or other things, or like eating disorders, which my whole book is about. But I get like posts taken down on Instagram because it's like triggering, which I totally get. I always try to include trigger warnings if needed, but nowadays, because I'm a lot more careful about what I post, just because I do not want to lose my account, because I've gained such a following that I don't want to do it all over again. If it requires a trigger warning, I won't post it at all. That'll go somewhere else, whether it's like on social media like Pinterest or something, or just save it for a book, or not post it, or not publish it anywhere if it's too much. If I don't feel like if I don't feel like the reader will gain something from it positively, then it's not worth. Even if that benefit is like hardship or like emotional resonating, you know, like that's benefit, or that's something, gaining something from my writing. But if it's just gonna put someone down, then obviously I would never, like, emotionally, I mean, I would never say like hate things. But if I said something that was just depressing, I probably wouldn't post it anyway. Next one said, someone sent me a song. It wasn't in English, and I don't know what the song was. I didn't really care to listen to it, to be honest. It's not that I don't care about what you guys send me. It's just like for the Q&A, it was kind of like irrelevant. I didn't know how that was a question, so I can't say anything on that one. But I did want to mention that that was submitted, because I don't want to ignore anybody's questions. Someone else said, do you prefer to hang out with friends or have me time? That's a great one, and that's a balance I'm trying to find in 2023, because in the past I've overextended myself, or I'll self-isolate, and I feel like I tend to go back and forth on extremes. And nowadays I really want to find the balance where I can honor my energy. That's something that my therapist says a lot, is honor your energy. And what that means, and I do write about it, I have some posts that I haven't posted yet about that topic, but I will say for the subscribers only, that honoring your energy means staying true to what you can realistically accomplish while still like achieving your goals. You have to set priority and say like, will it benefit me in the long run if I go out tonight, or will that just make me tired for class the next day? Or otherwise, like, will it benefit me socially if I do decide to go out and have a good time in moderation? And so it's all about moderation, I think, and I'm still trying to find a balance. I think I tend towards self-isolation, but I definitely love my friends and I love hanging out with them. I just need to strike a balance sometimes. And then someone else just said, are you studying? I think that means, what am I studying? So I'll tell you my major. I'm a combined major in behavioral neuroscience and philosophy. So I love the brain. That's what that means. Because obviously behavioral neuroscience is psychology and science-based. And the philosophy, people always ask me why philosophy with neuroscience, and it's because, one, there's a whole field of philosophy dedicated to ethical discussions about the use of neuroscience. And whether we should even be studying it, which I'm very interested in. And second of all, philosophy is how we think about the world. So I want to have that perspective of an abstract, almost artistic view of the brain and the mind. And is the brain the same as the mind? That's a whole question in philosophy as well. And then just to have the science to back it up and to explain things is really nice, to have the neuroscience as extra information that I can use when making philosophical arguments. So, long-winded, but that, I don't know if I can post this whole thing on Instagram, because it's like 10 minutes, but this has been the Q&A for week 1. I'm going to try to post these every week. If it's not interesting to you guys, I might make it once a month, but just let me know in the comments or DM me what is interesting to you. So yeah, have a great rest of your day and thank you for watching.